Welcome to Morning Message for February the 2nd. Well, it is actually February the 2nd. Sometimes I record these messages the day before. Sometimes I'll record 2 or 3 in a day and have them lined up for the week. But today actually is February the 2nd. And you might not believe that if you're in Halifax or something right now and you look out your window and you see how much it's snowing. The snow hasn't started here yet in Charlottetown, but we're expecting a pretty good snowfall before the end of the day, turning to rain. It feels like one of those spring storms rather than a winter one, but we're facing that today as well. So my thoughts are with everybody as we face this storm, and those of you who get to stay home, who can call it a storm day, make the best of it. Do things that you wanted to get done around the house or with your work or whatever. So make the most of storm days, and perhaps even some recreation in there as well. I suppose my recreation today at some point will be snow shoveling. I'll have it in my head that I have to shovel that snow out before the rain comes, because if that freezes or if it comes really heavy, then it's really difficult to move. You know the drill. What I wanted to share with you today, the story I wanted to share, happened a few years ago. My daughter Keely spent much of her teenage years with braces in her mouth and on her teeth. And, the stigma isn't there the way that it was when I was a kid. Nowadays it seems as though kids feel left out if they don't get braces. Anyway, Keely had a lot of time with braces on, and I remember the day that she had them off, because she kind of had 2 rounds of these things. The second time she had the braces taken off, she was really excited, and she wanted me to take a couple of pictures of her so that she could post these pictures online. So I went and got my Canon Rebel camera and took 2 pictures of her. And almost at the same moment, Riley walked by. And Keely looked at the pictures and then said to Riley, "Would you like to take a couple of pictures as well?" So Riley just quickly snapped 2 pictures as well. So in the space of about 90 seconds, 4 pictures were taken of Keely, 2 by me and 2 by Riley. The 2 by me, the pictures looked like Keely. I mean, they were fine pictures. But the 2 that Riley took looked like pieces of art. She just has an eye for that sort of thing. She has an eye for figuring out things that are artistic and ways of looking at things that are very artistic. And I think that's a wonderful quality she has, and perhaps not one that I have so much. I've always wanted to be an artist working in the visual arts in some way, and never really had that ability. I can draw a hand, for example, but when I put that hand on some body that I've also drawn, people will look at it and say, it's not quite right. I can draw a table and you'll look at it, yeah, that's a table, but it's not quite right. So I've never really been able to hone that skill at all. So it's wonderful to have somebody around like Riley who has that ability. But it got me thinking the other day, what is God's art? How does God express God's self artistically? And, there's easy answers to that question. I mean, there's the vast expanse of interstellar space. That's a majestic and awesome piece of work, and certainly an expression of the awe and wonder and majesty of God's self. And we could even take it a little bit more personally and take a look at a flower or a sunset or something like that, and just think about the artistic vision that God must have had to create all those circumstances to allow those things to happen, and certainly it is. But the one thing I think we sometimes forget is that each and every one of us is a piece of art. Each and every one of us is an expression of God's self. And we may see lots of flaws in ourselves. We may think we're just a regular picture taken by somebody who doesn't really know how to take a picture, but that's not true. When God looks at us, God sees all that beauty and wonder that's in the cosmos. You are wonderfully made. Each and every one of us is wonderfully made. We are an expression of God's awesome, divine, art-making skill. And let's not forget that. Let's not forget how beautiful and wonderful each one of us is. And let's not forget that we are a creature, a creation, an artistic creation of the divine God who made us. And let's start looking at ourselves that way. Let's start looking at one another that way. And I think when we do, we can start to transform this world into being the vision that God has for us. A world of love, a world of justice. God bless. Amen.